I put it on my head, and I instantly fell in love. It is that perfect length that's going to suit a lot of different people. I do talk about this wig a lot, especially on my other social media channels. This is a popular style. They are that effortless, beachy, like sort of barely there wave. And when I wore it the other day for about 8 hours at Christmas time, and by the end of the night, it still looked perfect. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Chiquel YouTube channel. My name is Amanda, and you know what, today's gonna be a little bit different. I know we're looking a little bit different. Things are a little bit off right now, but before I jump into all of what we're doing today, I'm gonna remind you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can learn even more about alternative hair. All right, you guys, so with this being the last video of 2025, we're just gonna do a quick casual chat, and I'm gonna recap my 5 favorite wigs that I either reviewed, talked about, or wore this year. And I have to be honest here, this was really tough because there were a lot of wigs that I truly did love. But as I went back through videos and as I went through the list of, you know, all the new wigs and new styles that popped up this year, I think the 5 that I'm going to talk about today, I think they are either my 5 most worn styles this year, or most talked about, or just my most beloved styles of 2025. Now just remember guys, we are all different. We all have different styles we are looking for, different styles that flatter our face and our body shapes differently. And we all have different things in a cap that we are looking for. So my 5 favorite styles and favorite wigs might not be your 5 favorites, and that's okay. So because we are all different, what I want you guys to do is after you watch this, I want you to list your top 5 styles. Now, maybe they are your top 5 styles because you've already tried them, or maybe you haven't been able to have the opportunity to get them yet, but they are definitely on your top 5 to try from this past year. Because it's always fun to see what everyone else is into besides me. Anyways, without further ado, and in no particular order, because honestly, I don't think I was able to actually put these in like a number 1, number 2. They are all fantastic in my books. So without further ado and with no particular order, we're gonna start with actually the one I'm wearing on my head right now, which is Runway Rehearsal by Raquel Welch. Runway Rehearsal was a style that popped up this year that I felt did not get enough hype to begin with. I remember getting it being like, oh, it's another new style by Raquel Welch. I wonder what this is all about. And I pulled it out of the box, I put it on my head, and I instantly fell in love without knowing like anything about it. And one of the things that surprised me the most, I think, is usually I am the one to fall in love with the hand-tied caps, the full monofilament tops, the styles with all of the bells and whistles on them, but Runway Rehearsal doesn't have all of that. It's an open wefted cap. It only has a left part, but the density on this style is perfection. It is a lower density style. The waves in this are just so effortless and soft and subtle. The layering at the front just made me so happy. I loved the versatility of this style, the ability to put it in an updo, put it in a half up, half down, put it in a ponytail. There's just so many things you can do with this style, and it looks good no matter how you wear it. And something else I really did like about the style is the fact that even though it is long and it's a heat-friendly synthetic style, which means that it's going to tangle, which it does, which is annoying, I know, but I'm gonna look past that. So even though it's long and heat-friendly and it tangles, something great about this is the fact that the very ends, like the last 2 inches or so of this style, that is typically where you're gonna see the most frizz from all that friction of it rubbing against your clothing. But the last 2 inches of those waves are a bit straighter as opposed to being curling all the way down to the ends, which means that if you need to use heat and apply heat to your ends to help take out that frizz, it's a lot easier to do that without completely ruining the style, because you can just take a hair straightener and go through the ends, which are already a little bit straighter to begin with. You're not gonna ruin that curl pattern very much. So if Runway Rehearsal by Raquel Welch has not yet been on your list of a style to try, then you definitely need to get it there. All right, number 2, the next style that is going on my list for my top 5, again, in no particular order. This one I think is obvious. This one was a style that came out and took the internet by storm, and that is Mira by Amore. So let's talk about the obvious here. And I think the obvious when you look at someone in the style is just the fact that it's an adorable style. It is that perfect length that's going to suit a lot of different people. And not only is it going to suit a lot of different people, it's also going to be that perfect length in regards to maintenance of that style. It's not going to be too long where it's brushing against your shoulders, getting a ton of friction on the ends, causing that frizziness. And it's not going to be too long so it gets super tangly. So it really is at that perfect length where although you have to maintain it a little bit, it's not as much as you'd have to maintain on a style like Runway Rehearsal. So the ability to throw this on, look absolutely fantastic without having to do too much to the style, that is a huge win in my books. Now, aside from the obvious adorable style that you see as soon as someone puts Mira on, let's talk about the inner workings of the cap. This is one of those styles that truly does have all the bells and whistles. It is hand tied. It has that full monofilament top so you can part it anywhere you want. It has that extended temple to temple lace front. It has really soft felt ear tabs and nape. The comfort of Mira is like no other. Plus, if you are someone like me who is a petite size, although Mira is labeled as an average size cap, it is a style that fits a little bit smaller than average. So for someone like me, Mira fits me really nicely and it is so very comfortable. Mira is one of those styles that I think is going to stand the test of time and one of those styles that people are just going to repurchase over and over again. All right, let's go to number 3. And you know what? Number 3, I think also isn't going to be a surprise to a lot of people because I do talk about this wig a lot, especially on my other social media channels, and that is Charlotte by Envy. Now, Charlotte by Envy is especially being added to my top 5 due to the fact that not only do I love the style, I am extra adding it to the top 5 because they have now created Charlotte in a large and a petite size. And as someone who has a petite size head, I really appreciate that because Charlotte is already a style that I adore. So being able to have it in a size that actually fits me makes me love it even more. Now, to be quite honest, it was a little bit of a shock to me to realize how much I actually love Charlotte because typically I'm someone who loves heat-friendly synthetic fiber styles, and Charlotte by Envy is a regular synthetic style. Now, the reason I don't love regular synthetic styles quite as much as heat-friendly synthetic is because regular synthetic styles can be a little bit more shiny. And I do not personally love that shine. I know some women are like, oh, the shine on synthetics makes it look like you have this healthy hair, which that's great that some women love that. For me, it makes me feel like I have Barbie doll hair on sometimes. But with Charlotte, I found that when I looked more at the dark colors or the red colors, those colors do not have near as much shine as the blonde colors. So when I really started to wear those colors, that's also what made me love Charlotte even more. Because not only did I love that mid-length wavy bob, but I also wasn't self-conscious of that shine. Now, I was also surprised that I love Charlotte so much because, again, it's not a full monofilament top. It is a center part. So you cannot part it on the left or the right. You have to stick to that center part. But for me, I loved it regardless. Now, no matter what though, on any style I find, I absolutely need a lace front. And Charlotte does have that. It also has a really natural density to it with just a little bit of permatease to add a little bit of extra volume, but not so much that you feel like you're wearing a big helmet on your head. So if you are someone who's into the regular synthetic fiber, or if you're someone like me who really does love the heat-friendly synthetic fiber, but you've always wanted to maybe dabble in the regular synthetics, Charlotte is a really great place to start. All right, you guys, let's talk about number 4. Now, I remember the first time I tried this style on, I was absolutely blown away by it. I instantly loved it. And the style I am talking about is Showrunner by Raquel Welch. Now, it's really funny because I always thought that I was a low density, low profile, like minimal volume kind of a gal when it comes to wigs. But I feel like Showrunner really proved me wrong because like I said, when I put it on, I was like, holy smokes, this is gorgeous. And Showrunner is honestly one of my most complimented wigs. Whenever I wear it and go out and about, I always get compliments on it. I remember one day, just in one day I wore it, I got about 4 compliments just in a span of a few hours in every different spot I went. I was like, holy cow, this is a popular style. So I definitely think that the fact that by me wearing the style out and about and it getting a lot of attention, that has definitely made it land in my top 5. Now, aside from the fact that I get a lot of attention wearing that wig, I love it for more reasons than that, of course. So it has that full monofilament top, which I love, and that means you can part it anywhere you want while maintaining that illusion of scalp. Plus, it has that extended temple to temple lace front where you can pull it off of your face. It also has a partially hand-tied cap, which really helps to allow the hair move a little bit more freely and naturally, and it makes for a little bit more of a comfortable wear. Now, aside from that, unfortunately, Showrunner is a style that does fit a little bit bigger than average. So when I put it on, I was a little bit sad to find out that it doesn't fit me as well as it could. However, on Showrunner, you're gonna find silicone on it. You're gonna find silicone on the ear tabs and on the nape. And for someone who is a petite size like me, I find that silicone to be very helpful in order to help stretch the cap as much as I can, and it almost like helps secure at your nape, that wig down at your neck so it doesn't ride up as much. And even at the ear tabs too, it helps it feel a little bit more secure there so that you feel a little bit more comfortable as a petite size wearing a wig that is a little bit too big for you. Now, one more thing I love about the style is the fact that this is a style that came out when Raquel Welch introduced their new Featherlight fibers, which is their new heat-friendly fiber that is much lighter than their typical true to life heat-friendly synthetic fiber. This is their fiber that is shaped like a tube where the center of that fiber is hollowed out, therefore making it feel much lighter. So I do really love that lightweight feel of the fiber, especially because I find that Showrunner is a style that has a lot of hair, and although it has no permatease on it, which I also love, it still gives a lot of volume while feeling lightweight and fluffy on your head. So for me, Showrunner was an absolute win. All right, now for my 5th favorite wig of 2025, again, in no particular order. This one actually slipped in sort of at the 11th hour. This was a new release not too long ago by Jon Renau, and honestly one that sort of surprised me as coming in as my top 5, but it's Olivia by Jon Renau. Now, the reason it surprised me being in my top 5 is the fact that it is also a regular synthetic style. And again, I don't typically love regular synthetics, but you know what? Everything else about Olivia is pure magic. It is a hand-tied cap. It has a full monofilament top. It has a lace front. It has a low density. It has no permatease. The waves on this style are gorgeous. They are that effortless, beachy, like sort of barely there wave, but they are beautiful. It also has a little bit of this longer layered bang situation in the front, which I always adore, and which also makes it really good for updos. Olivia is actually the style that I chose to wear for my Christmas dinner. And Christmas, of course, is always a special time, especially for my family. So the fact that I did wear it on Christmas definitely meant that it is a style that I truly do adore. Now, I know I mentioned earlier that I don't love the shine on regular synthetics, and if that is a worry for you sometimes, you can always take some dry shampoo, spray it all over, and that can help dull the shine a little bit, and I do that. It doesn't solve all of the problems of the world when it comes to shine, but it helps a little bit. But aside from the shine, something wonderful I find about regular synthetic is the fact that it doesn't tangle and clump and frizz as much and as easily as heat-friendly synthetic styles do. So with Olivia, you're not going to be as bothered and as annoyed by the clumping and the frizzing and the tangling. You might need to comb through it once a day, but other than that, it's really not going to be too bad. And when I wore it the other day for about 8 hours at Christmas time, I didn't have to comb through it once, and by the end of the night, it still looked perfect. And when you can find a longer style that's like beyond your shoulders, that still looks good after a full 8-hour wear, that's pretty good. And you know what? With regular synthetics, you are gonna find that a lot more often. So if Olivia has not yet made your list as one to try, I really recommend you get it on that list. All right, you guys, can you believe it? Those are my top 5 of 2025. I did have to sit for a little while to make this list, to really figure out which ones I was actually going to talk about, but I think I feel pretty confident in these 5 that I've listed here. Let me know what you guys think of these 5 and if you've tried them yet and if you agree with me at all, or if you're like, actually, Amanda, those ones, they're not it. Because I don't know, maybe you've tried them and you've had a different experience. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what your top 5 are, and also, Happy New Year, you guys. I want to give a big thank you to all of you for following along with me, being my biggest supporters, and just allowing me to come on here and do what I do. I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I know I don't know absolutely everything there is in the world to know about wigs, but you guys give me purpose. You guys help keep me going in this world, and you guys make this a lot of fun for me. With everything I share on here, I love reading your guys' comments because I also learn through you as well. And what you guys share with me gives me fuel to keep going and wanting to learn more and wanting to try new things. So I truly appreciate you being here, and I wish you guys all nothing but the best for this upcoming year. Happy New Year, you guys, and I will see you next year. Bye, everybody.